Cytoplasm is a very crowded medium filled with several different organelles and macromolecules. The abundance of macromolecules can reduce the space available for other proteins. Hence, this crowding modifies the kinematics and dynamics of a protein. This raises a question. How do the kinematics of molecular motor proteins differ in a crowded medium opposed to water? We are investigating this by using a single molecule approach and utilizing an optical tweezer system. But what does that all even mean? Well, let's start with the optical tweezer system, or optical trap. An optical trap is based on the simple idea that a focused laser can trap a micron-sized object and manipulate the proteins attached to this object. Using the optical trap, we first confirmed how the viscosity is different inside a crowded medium in comparison to plain water. By helping to develop an optical trap, I've gained a better understanding of optics and have quantified the viscosity of water in a crystal solution. I've learned many laboratory techniques and become more skilled in using LabVIEW and Origin Lab to analyze and process my data. If you'd like to learn more about my research, then please attend my SURE Research Showcase presentation.
How do you determine if an industry's product is going to be a success? There's so much information that it requires a deep understanding of the involved entities. I use data from the board game, food, and automobile industries, and I utilize Gephi to model the industries based on their companies and created products to determine measures of centrality. From this, I was able to determine important features of the sourcing, transforming, and distributing functions for each industry. If you would like to learn more about what I did, please come see my SURE Research Showcase presentation. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tim Batt from the College of Arts, Sciences, and Letters. My summer project was the spectrum and numerical range of a composition operator on the Hardy space. A central question in mathematics is determining the spectrum and numerical range of an operator. In this picture, the spectrum of our composition operator is represented by the black dots, and the numerical range is the shaded portion. This picture was plotted on Mathematica, which we used extensively along with Desmos and LaTeX to explore the spectrum and numerical range. I worked on this project in a group with Georgia Corbett from Bucknell University and Lauren Forbes from University of St. Thomas, and of course, Professor Clifford from University of Michigan Dearborn Math Department. If you'd like to hear more about my project, catch me at the SURE Showcase on September 10th.
Could alley activation be a neighborhood sustainability strategy? In Detroit today, many alleys feel unwelcome, unmanageable, and unsafe. By beautifying and reimagining these alleys, we can create opportunities for residents to connect with one another and improve the quality of life in Detroit neighborhoods. Working hands-on with the residents has allowed me to learn their hopes and concerns for creating a sustainable neighborhood and reveal to us that our main goals were to improve the safety of the alleys and provide a clean space to enjoy the outdoors. Curious to learn about the outcome of our efforts in the Detroit alleys? Join me at the SURE Research Showcase.
Good evening. We got the unfortunate news late this afternoon that former President Jimmy Carter has been diagnosed with cancer.
We're going to meet Peter Hedgeman. Doctors had told him that they discovered a cancerous tumor on his liver.
Is mourning the death of Beau Biden, who succumbed to brain cancer Saturday at the age of 46.
13-year-old Mackenzie Stuck of Mount Airy has passed away.
She tried to help other children with cancer. All the while, she was battling her own fight with brain cancer.
Welcome to your life. You will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world.
It's hard to think of a single person who did not ponder how to protect themselves against the coronavirus this summer. I contemplated this problem in great detail. Why are so many people hesitant to get vaccinated against the coronavirus? Should they be? Can we convince them to change their minds? I focused my research on incentivizing those in my Muslim community to get vaccinated. I started by reading a great number of articles and book chapters to understand the research already available on this question. I spent a lot of time analyzing how other thinkers went about discussing this topic and how their ideas relate to our contemporary public health care crisis. By the end of the summer, I developed an argument for those who believe in religious obligations to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. If you'd like to hear more about my journey towards promoting vaccine uptake in my community, join me at the SURE Showcase.
How can you save money on gas? The closest station, or should you drive further for cheaper prices? What about traffic time and maintenance cost? How did they factor into this? Are these strategies generalized, or do they vary city by city? What about gas company loyalty programs? Are they worth it? What about for electric vehicles and hybrids? I've researched countless sources ranging from AAA to GasBuddy, and I've figured out all the answers to all these questions for each of the different vehicle types, ranging from small sedans all the way up to minivans and pickup trucks.
The question I am posed with answering is how to analyze and detect performance bottlenecks in virtual reality applications. A step in analyzing and detecting these bottlenecks is to use a Clang Static Analyzer. When using the Clang Static Analyzer, we complete 3 steps. 1. Turning CPP files or files that contain the source code written in the C++ language into abstract syntax tree files or AST files. 2 is creating a file that will allow us to parse the AST file, and finally searching for the bad smells or problems. My role in the team was to learn about the Clang Static Analyzer and find a way to navigate the AST file. Locating the bad smells. Looking at the image on the screen, this is the AST that Clang creates. It resembles the code from the CPP file. This gives the idea of what we are parsing through to find those bad smells. To find out more about the Static Analyzer or learn some more about the AST file, come and watch my presentation at the SURE Research Showcase.
My name is Jacob Guttett. I'm an engineering student at the University of Michigan Dearborn. The title of the project I've been working on this summer is assessing the effects of charging and discharging on the performance of lithium-ion batteries. What happens to lithium-ion batteries when repeatedly charged and discharged? With an increasing number of electric vehicles on the road and a large push from governments, the use of lithium-ion batteries will reach an all-time high. To be able to assess specific problems with lithium-ion batteries, I first had to learn as much as possible about them. I read many research papers and articles which taught me how research projects start. From this information, I was able to create a review paper summarizing information about lithium-ion batteries. To learn more about the past, present, and future challenges of lithium-ion batteries, please come see my presentation at the SURE Summer Showcase.
Have you ever questioned the impact of a man-made blue space of pools in a desert-like environment? It turns out this variable has an apparent impact both on social and environmental vulnerabilities when researching 2 transects in Phoenix, Arizona. Alongside Professor Naparolsky, I utilized a geospatial information system to study how the CDC Social Vulnerability Index and other data sources were impacted by pool density and size. Using the research, the GIS allowed me to gain skills in spatial analysis and digitizing. One point the research emphasized was that social vulnerability increased as a pool's footprint decreased. To learn more about the results and research on this topic, stop by to hear my presentation at the SURE Research Showcase.
Our project's end goal is to create a tool that will automatically detect potential performance-related code smells within VR and AR applications developed using Unreal Engine 4. This should improve developer productivity by allowing them to spend less time manually searching for performance-related issues within their code. AR and VR applications were chosen as the focus for this project due to the general lack of analytical tools exclusively designed for these types of applications. The first portion of the project involved manually detecting and analyzing code smells from various AR/VR related Unreal Engine projects. This process began by mining public GitHub repositories for commits that could potentially contain performance-related code smells. The commits were then manually analyzed to determine their validity and to determine the type of code smell they contained. Once this process was complete, we would categorize these code smells to create a taxonomy. Here's a zoomed-in view to show you an example of our classification system that we used for this. For more information, you can tune into my presentation on September 10th.
Hi, my name is Jahaira Vega. I am a senior majoring in international studies. I had the pleasure of working alongside Dr. Lopez. He is a professor at the College of Education, Health and Human Services. Our research project is called Mujeres Modernas, Mindering Masculinity. The rise of social media engagement and consumption in the Dominican Republic has made way for the increased visibility of Mujeres Modernas. With elaborate female-presenting aesthetics, these queer individuals captivate the attention of the masses who follow them across various social media platforms. They are also often booked by radio and television shows for guest appearances and interviews. Still, for a substantive number of mujeres modernas, their anomalous gender performance extends beyond entertainment and virtual contexts into their corresponding social spheres. So what are mujeres modernas, and what are some of the discussions that their presence is bringing to the Dominican Republic? In this qualitative research, we use social media to learn more about mujeres modernas through observations. These individuals appear to encompass identities such as transgender, non-conforming, gender questioning, and gender fluid. Mujeres modernas' lives also seem to be highly impacted by the traditional views and conservative attitudes of the Dominican Republic's religious and patriarchal society. To find out more of what we discovered so far, please come to my presentation at the Shore Research Showcase.